Hey, this is Tim Anderson. Today is July 26, 2021, and I wanted to give you a couple of pieces of information here for your knowledge and information for you to be able to talk to people about what's happening. Now, this video is about critical race theory and specifically the NEA. And if you do not know who the NEA is, it's the National Education Association, or what is most commonly known as the largest teachers union in the United States. Now, the NEA had their annual meeting last month, in June. And during that meeting, there was substantial support to critical race theory. Now, if you listen to the liberal media and you listen to all of the left, they'll say, oh, there's no critical race theory in the school. This is a right-wing conspiracy. It doesn't exist. It's all fake. It's tinfoil hat Republican propaganda. So what I'm going to deals with business items that the NEA approved during their June 2021 annual meeting. Now, most important to understand about this is that these links that I'm showing you have been deleted from the NEA's website. And in fact, if you type in the word critical race theory, all links and everything related to critical race theory have all been taken down because critical race theory is overwhelmingly being rejected as a concept and as a premise by Americans. But that didn't stop the NEA from approving these business items. They're just hiding them from the general public. So this first one, which deals with new business item 39, which is right here. Now, again, you cannot find this on the NEA's website. This was archived, fortunately, by the Heritage Foundation, who was able to screenshot this page so that you could see what they did, even though you can't page. So now the NEA can say, oh, we have nothing to do with with critical race theory. That's crazy talk, but this is actually what they did. Now you look here, what I've highlighted, new business item 39, and you can see here adopted as modified. So what did they adopt as modified? Well, let's go down here to item E. And it says, conduct a virtual listening tour that will educate members in tools and resources needed to defend honesty in education, including but not limited to CRT, critical race theory. And that is, and then look at F. Commit President Becky Pringle, the president of the NEA, to make public statements across the lines of media to support racial honesty in education, including but not limited to critical race theory. Now you can read the rest of this, but for them to say that they're not trying to work with critical race theory, it's refuted. Look at this. Look at A. Share and publicize through existing channels of information already available on critical race theory. It's critical race theory, critical race theory, critical race theory, the 1619 project here. All right, now if you don't know what these things are, you need to get yourself up to speed, because this is the reshaping of America at the ground level. Critical race theory, 1619 project, teaches that America is an inherently racist country. It needs to be stripped down, reset, and it's making these students hate their country. Look at these programs. Look at this. This is why it is overwhelmingly being pushed back on by parents and by anybody. Anytime a Democrat gets caught talking about critical race theory, they'll say, oh, it doesn't exist, it doesn't exist. But here is the largest teachers union in the nation that is talking about the 1619 project. Now, let's go to the next item that they did, which is item number 2. All right, I'm going to pull that up here for you to look at. And while this is coming up, this was passed during their last session. And what they're doing is they are going to create a program targeting essentially the Heritage Foundation, which is the group that has been exposing NEA to go after them, dealing with anybody who's attacking anti-racist work, critical race theory, these things that they've been pushing. If anybody were to expose them for what they're doing, they've funneled in $56,500 to do basically op-ed research on the Heritage Foundation, which is the one major organization in the country that is standing up to critical race theory. Folks, this is called gaslighting. This is, oh, we're not doing this, but they actually are. This is President Biden saying there's no such thing as inflation and gas is $1 more a gallon. We don't have a crisis at the border and 200,000 illegal entries are coming into the country and being captured, and many more aren't. This is gaslighting. All right, so NEA is not only actively supporting critical race theory, but they've budgeted for doing opposition research against companies and foundations that are opposing critical race theory. And going back to item 39 at the very bottom here, this isn't chump change. They're going to put $127,600 into it. So almost $200,000 by this organization towards critical race theory. Now, you've seen it now. I'm going to put these links up here, and you can have that, because when they say they're not pushing critical race theory, you now can show that that's not true, that they actually are. Now, the last thing that I want to show you, which I think is extremely important, is how has the NEA tried to influence Virginia's elections? Well, here is Terry McAuliffe's VPAP report. This is where money comes from people. And look right here. The National Education Association has given $400,000 to Terry McAuliffe for his push for governor. Now, we know, I've just showed you that the NEA is pushing critical race theory. They are now dumping hundreds of thousands of dollars in Terry McAuliffe's coffers to run for governor. And should he win, what do you think happens next? This is not hard to connect the dots. And finally, I'll show you just this. Let's look at the National Education Association here of who they've donated to. This is how much they've donated just this year. $400,000 to Terry McAuliffe, $50,000 to the House Democrat Caucus, $15,000 to the Virginia Legislative Black Caucus, $2,500 to the Democratic Party of Virginia, and that's just in 2020 alone. Let's look at the totalities of how much the NEA has influenced influenced Virginia politics since we've been keeping track of them, to a grand total of $1.6 million over time, $500,000 to Terry McAuliffe, $322,000 to Governor Ralph Northam, and it goes on and on and on. Oh, and by the way, look how much they've given out of all of all of this. They gave $5,000 to the Republican State Leadership Committee and $400 to the Republican Party of Virginia, but that was all the way back in 2007. Obviously, the $1.5 million plus has gone to Democrats to fund what they're trying to get done in Virginia. So now you have it. Don't let them gaslight you. Use these facts for you to be able to show people that the largest teachers union in the nation is supporting critical race theory, and they want that to happen in your schools. Have a good day.